Hello. Today's topic is two machine scheduling. Already I have posted two machine scheduling problem 1. I will provide the link in the description. You can learn two machine scheduling problem 1 also. So today I am going to tell you about two machine scheduling problem number 2. So let us understand the problem. In a factory, there are 6 jobs to perform. So there are 6 jobs to perform in a factory, each of which should go through two machines A and B. So each of which should go through two machines. Two machines are A and B in the order AB. So the order of the machines are AB. We have to process the processing times through the machines in the order of AB. The processing timings in hours for the jobs are given below. So here we have 6 jobs and two machines, and these are all processing times relating to two machines and the jobs. So what we have to do, you are required to determine the sequence for performing the jobs that would minimize the total elapsed time. So we have to determine the sequence. So with the help of that sequence we can minimize the total elapsed time, that is T. Then we have to calculate, we have to identify the value of T. So this is the problem, and here we have 6 jobs and two machine processing times. So here we have to perform each job on two machines. We have to perform each job on two machines. So if we take the first job, if we want to process the first job on machine A, this first job takes 7 hours time to complete on machine A, and at the same time the same job we can process 3 hours on machine B. So we have to process the each job on two machines. For example, if we want to process the fourth job, machine A takes 5 hours time and machine B takes 6 hours of time. Then that job 4 will become complete. So this is the problem. So what we have to do, so we have to determine the optimum sequence. So here we have to determine the optimum sequence. So how we have to determine the optimum sequence? So that is the first step that we have to find out. Optimum sequence. First we have to take all the processing times relating to machine A and machine B. So we have to take all the processing times, and we have to identify what is the shortest processing time among all the processing timings. So here, what is the shortest processing time? What is the shortest value? So here 1 is the shortest value. Here we have the one value, and there is no other one value. So here we have only one processing time, that is shortest processing time. Okay, So after identifying the shortest processing time among all the processing times, so what we have to do is, so that processing time is related to which machine and which job, that we have to identify. So this one processing time is relating to job 6, and that 1 hour processing time is relating to machine B. So machine B and job 6. So here we have to place the job in the optimum sequence. Actually we have 6 jobs. That's why I have taken 6 boxes. So we have to order all these 6 jobs. So here first we have to place the job 6 in the optimum sequence with the help of shortest processing time. So this is relating to the machine B and this is relating to job 6. Okay, so this 1 hour is relating to machine B, that's why we have to place the job from right to left side. Here we have to place this 1 hour is relating to machine B, that means here we have to place the processing time job from right to left side. From right to left side we have to place the job. So I just placed the job. Then simply we do not consider these processing times again, because the job I just entered the job here. Each job can only takes place in these boxes only for one time. Okay, so here we have to place all these 6 jobs only for one time. So if we place the job 6, then that doesn't come again here. Okay, so that's why I do not consider these processing times. Already I placed the job 6 in the optimum sequence. Okay, then next we can go for another shortest processing time. So here among all the shortest processing times remaining, that means we have to exempt the job 6 processing times. Remaining, what are the processing times we have? So among all the processing times, so let us find out what is the shortest processing time again. So here among all these processing times, the shortest processing time is only 2 hour is the shortest processing time among all these processing times. So let us identify this 2 hour is relating to job 3 and it is relating to machine A. So where we have to place the job in the optimum sequence, because here we have to consider machine A. So we have to place the job from left to right side. We have to place the jobs from left to right if that processing time is relating to machine A. Okay, so this processing time is relating to machine A, that's why we have to place from left to right side in the optimum sequence. So what we have to place here? So we have to place the job, so that 3 job we have to place here, job 3. Then I do not consider these 2 values also, because I just placed the job 3 here in the optimum sequence. Okay, then next what are the processing times we have remaining? So among all those processing times, so let us identify the shortest processing time. So here after 2, what is the shortest processing time here? Here we have 4 and here we have 4, so, and here we have 3. So 3 is the shortest processing time. Okay, so here we have only 1 3. Okay, so here we have to take 3 because it is the shortest processing time, right? Is it relating to which machine and which job? So that we have to think. So very simple, it is relating to machine A and it is relating to job 1. Okay, so it is relating to machine B. Then what we have to do? So we have to place the job on machine B side. Machine B side we have to place the job. Machine B side in the sense we have to place the job from right to left, because this processing time is relating to machine B. So here I am placing the job, that is 1. So here the 3 processing time is related to job 1. So I am placing here the job 1. Okay, then I do not consider these 2 values, even I do not consider the 7 value also. Okay, then we go for another shortest processing time. So here we have these 2 processing times and at the same time these 4 processing times we have. Okay, so among all these processing times, among what I selected the processing times, so what is the shortest processing time here? So here we have the 4 is the shortest processing time. Here here we have 2 4 values, 2 4-hour values here we have. So here we can get a doubt, among all the processing times, whatever the shortest processing time, so that till now we just taken into consider and just we placed the job. Okay, that's fine. Here we have 2 shortest processing times. So in this situation, what we have to do while making the optimum sequence? So here we have 2 shortest processing time values, so that is 4. Here we have 4 and here also we have 4. So in this situation, so we have to consider and we have to check what is the corresponding value. We have to check what is the corresponding value we have to check. So what is the corresponding value means? Here the corresponding value of this 4 hour is 9 hours. The opposite machine processing time we have to check. So here this 4 corresponding value is 9 and next this 4 corresponding value is 8. So we have to check these both processing time corresponding values when the 2 shortest processing timings are more than 2 shortest processing timings if we have. Okay, so here this is, here we have 9, here we have 8. So among the shortest the corresponding values, if we compare the corresponding values, so again we can check which is the shortest processing corresponding value, shortest processing corresponding value. So here here 9 we have and here we have 8. So comparing with the 9, here 8 is the corresponding shortest processing time. That's why we have to take this 4. Okay, so we have to take this 4 hours. Okay, then after this we will go for this 4. Okay, so here we have 4. So this 4 is relating to job 2 and machine A. So we have to place the job, so where we have to place the job? On machine A side we have to place the job. So job 2 we have to place where? we have to place here. Why we have to place here? Because this 4 is relating to machine A. So if any processing time is relating to machine A, then we have to place that processing time job from left to right. So here already we have one job here, so after that job, so we have to place the next job. So here we have the we have to place the second job here from left to right side, because this 4 is relating to machine A, right? Okay, I'm just changing the color here. We do not take this 8 also after that, because already we placed the second job here. Then we have shortest processing time 4. Here again we have one more 4, so this we have to take, and this processing time is relating to machine B, and this processing time is relating to job 5. Okay, so job 5 and machine B, so it is relating to machine B, so we have to place the job from right to left side. So what is the job? That is 5 job. So this 4 processing time job is 5, so that job 5 we have to place here, because this 4 is relating to machine B. So from right to left we have to place, because in the third place I am placing, because already we have 2 jobs here. After 2 jobs we have to place the another job. Okay, I just change the color of these 2 values. Okay, so remaining only one job we have. So here among these 2, shortest processing time is 5, so no need to check this. Simply we can place the job 4 here. So this is the optimum sequence. This is the optimum sequence. We just found it. Okay, so this is the optimum sequence. So after finding the optimum sequence, so you are determined to determine you are required to determine the sequence. So optimum sequence, we just found it. Okay, after determining the optimum sequence, so what we have to do? So we have to performing the jobs. So we have to perform the jobs, then we can easily identify the total elapsed time, that is T. Okay, so after identifying the optimum sequence, then what we have to do? So we have to process the jobs, or we have to process the timings. So that is what we have to do is, okay. So here just so here in the first column it is for job sequence. Already we just found the job sequence, so that job sequence we have to take here. We have to place the job sequence in the job sequence column, whatever we found it. Okay, so this is the job sequence I am placing in the job sequence. Okay, so according to this job sequence, what we have to do? So we have to process the jobs or timings. For processing the timings or jobs relating to machine A and machine B, so we need in time, processing time, out time. With the help of these 3 columns, we can process the timings of all the jobs, and we can also calculate the idle time relating to machine A. Next, we can calculate the machine B processing, that means we have to process all the jobs relating to machine B. Okay, for that we need in time, processing time, out time, and we can calculate the idle time. Okay, so the according to this optimum sequence, so we have to make this table. Okay, right. So how for processing the jobs or timings, okay, first what we have to do is, first what is the in time. Already I just entered the job sequence here. Okay, so what is the in time, so that we have to write here. So what is the in time of the first job? So here, according to the job sequence, so we have to process the job 3 first. We have to process the job 3 on machine A. We have to process the job on machine A. So what is the job we have now? According to the sequence, we have the job 3, so that job 3 we have to process on machine A. So at 0 time we have to start the process on machine A. At 0 time we have to process the job, that is job 3, on machine A. At 0 time we have to start, because it is the first job. We are starting the process on machine A, that's why I am taking the 0 here. So at 0 hour I am starting the process of the job on machine A, that's why I have taken 0 here. And what is the processing time? So here, for performing the third job on machine A, how much time it will take, that time here we have to take. So in the problem already we have, so job 3 machine A processing time, that is 2 hours. So here the 2 hours we have to take. So what is the out time then? So here the job started at 0 time and we have to process that job on machine A 2 hours, and this job will come out from machine A at 2 hours, because this job is performing on machine A 2 hours. After 2 hours that job will come out from the machine A. So here 0 plus 2 is equals to 0 is equals to 2. So 0 plus 2 is equals to 2. So the, likewise we have to calculate the out time. Then we have to identify or calculate the idle time. Then we have to calculate the idle time. So how we have to calculate the idle time? So what is the idle time? So here the idle time is nothing but how much time the machine waited for the job. So here this machine didn't wait for any job, okay, because this job started at 0 hour and processed 2 hours, and come out of the machine is also 2 hours. So this machine didn't wait for any job or for any machine. So the waiting time of machine A is here 0 hours. So this is about the first job. So after performing the first job on machine A, then we have to forward this job to machine B. Okay, so first I just process all the jobs on machine A. I just process all the jobs, whatever the jobs we have. So those jobs I have to process on machine A. So here we have completed the job, that is job 3 on machine A. The out time of the present job is 2 hours. That means at 2 hours we can start the next job. At 2 hours we can start the next job. So what is the next job? Here we have the job 2 we have to perform on machine A. So this is the next job after third job. So here we can perform at 2 hours, because at 2 hours the machine A is free, it is ready to perform the next job. So that's why according to the sequence we can perform the next job, that is 2, that is second job. So at 2 hour we can process. And what is the processing time for job 2? So here for job 2, what is the processing time here? So here for machine A processing time is 4. So here the processing time is 4. That means for performing the job 2 on machine A, so we can perform the job 2 on machine A for 4 hours. Okay, then what is the out time? What is the out time? So 2 plus 4 is equals to 6. So here, so 2 plus 4 equals to 6. So this is the out time of second job. This is the out time of second job. Okay, at 2 hour we have completed the first job on machine A. At 6 hour we performed, or we completed, or we processed the second job. Okay, then what about the idle time? Here the out time of the previous job 2 hours and present job in time is 2 hours. I'm just talking about machine A. I'm just talking about machine A. So here the previous I'm just calculating the idle time of the present job. Okay, so the previous job out time is 2 hours and the present job in time is 2 hours. There is no gap in between out time and in time of the same machine. That's why here we have to take the 0, because this machine didn't wait for the job, because after 2 hours we have the next job to process. There here we no need to wait for any job. The job 2 is ready to perform on the machine A. Okay, so that's why here the idle time is 0. Then at 6 hour we have completed the job 2 on machine A. At 6 hour we can perform the next job. At 6 hour we can perform the next job. So this out time will become in time of the next job. Okay, so we can perform the fourth job at 6 hour. So this will become in time, this 6 will become here in time for the next job. Here what is the processing time? So the job 4 processing time. So job 4 processing time is 5 hours. 5 hours relating to machine A. So here we have to take 5 hours and we have to add 6 plus 5, that is 11 hours. At 11 hour we can complete the fourth job. Here we have the we are performing fourth job. Okay, so at 11th hour we can complete the fourth job. And next, what is the idle time? So the previous job out time 6 hours, the present job in time is 6 hours. There is no gap in between these 2 hours, that 6 out time, this in time, there is no gap. So 0 is the idle time. It didn't wait for any job. Okay, that's why because we have the job ready to perform on machine A. Okay, right. Then at 11th hour we have completed the fourth job, and at the same 11th hour we can start the next job, because we have the job. We can perform easily on the same hour. Okay, then what is the processing time? So here the job 5 processing time is 9. Machine A job 5 processing time is 9. So job 5 machine A processing time is 9. So here we have to add these two processing times, so we will get 20. So at 20 hour we can complete the fifth job on machine A. And what is the idle time? So here idle time 0, because the previous job out time, the present job in time, same, there is no gap. Okay, so here, so 0 is the idle time. So the machine A didn't wait for a job, already there was a job ready to perform. Okay, and next at 20 hour we have completed the job 5 on machine A. Then at the same 20 hour we can perform the next job. We have next job we can perform at 20 hour. And what is the processing time? So this is job 1. So job 1 processing time relating to machine A, that is 7 hours. 7 is the processing time, and here we have to add these two values, so we will get the outtime of the present job. So at 27 hour we can perform the first job on machine A. So what is the idle time here? The idle time, so previous job out time minus the present job in time, so 0. Okay, so if there are any gap, so that we have to take as idle time. And next at 27th hour we performed the job 1, then at same 27 hour we can perform the next job. And what is the processing time here? So here, what is the processing time relating to job 6? So the job 6 processing time relating to machine A is 8 hours. So here we have to take 8 hours. Okay, so here the 35 is the processing time, that out processing time. Okay, at 35 hour we have performed the 6th job. At 35 hour we performed the 6th job. That means here at 35th hour we can perform all the jobs. At 35th hour we performed all the jobs on machine A. Okay, all the jobs on machine A. Okay, so what is the idle time? So here, so we have to calculate the idle time, the previous job out time minus the present job in time, so that is 0. So because there is no gap. Okay, so at 35th hour we have completed the 6th job, that's fine. At 35th hour we can perform the next job, but there is no job to perform. Okay, that means at 35th hour we performed all the jobs. There is no other job to perform. Okay, so this is about the machine A. This is about the machine A, right? So then we will go for machine B. So here the first job is third job. In time, here we have taken the in time 0 for machine A. So what about the in time for machine B? First we have to process the job. We have to process the job 3 on machine A. We have to process the job 3 on machine A. Then that job will be forward to machine B. If that job didn't perform on machine A, then we do not forward that job into machine B. So the order of the machines are machine A and machine B. At a time we can perform a job, we can only perform a job at a time. So if we perform this third job on machine A, then we cannot forward this job to machine B. Okay, so that's why here the job, first we have to perform the job on machine A, then we will forward that job into machine B. Okay, so what about the in time then? What about the in time? So here the job 3 out time here 2 hours. The job 3 out time is 2 hours. At 2 hour we have completed the job on machine A. Then at 2 hour the job 3 is ready. For what? We can forward to machine B. So at 2 hour we can get this third job into machine B. So here we have to take this out time as this in time, out time as in time for first time. So this is for, I'm talking about the first job. Okay, so at 2 hour this job is ready at machine A, and that we can forward to machine B. Okay, so this out time we can take it as in time. Okay, then what is the processing time? So the machine B job 3 processing time. So machine B job 3 processing time 6. So 6 hours. For performing the job 3 on machine B takes 6 hours of time. Okay, then what about the out time? So here we have to calculate in time plus processing time will be the out time. So whatever the job, for calculating the out time, so here simply we have to take in time plus processing time is equals to out time. Okay, so here at 8th hour we can complete the job 3 on machine B. That means at 8th hour we can completely perform the third job. When that third job will become complete, first we have to process that job on machine A, then we have to process the same job on machine B. So at 8th hour we completed that job to process, so it is ready to go forward. Okay, so here at 8th hour we completed the third job on 2 machines. It is 2 machine scheduling problem. So at 8th hour we have completed the job successfully, right? So at 2nd hour we have completed the third job awfully, not completely, but at 8th hour we have completed the third job, the processing of this job on 2 machines successfully, that completely. At 8th hour we have completed the job. Okay, there is no other machine to perform, so this is the final machine. At 8th hour we have completed the job. Okay, then what about the idle time? So what about the idle time? So idle time, is this machine waited for any job? Yes, definitely it has waited. Waited for how much time it has waited? For 2 hours it has waited, because here we have taken the in time 2 hours. We have taken 2 hours in time. So for 2 hours what the machine B did? Nothing. It waited for the job. The machine B waited for 2 hours for the job. We can perform other jobs, but here we do not perform the other jobs. Why? Because first we have to process the job on machine A, then only we can process the job on machine B. That's why we do not perform any other job on machine B. It has to wait, the machine B has to wait for the first job. Here out time of the machine A is 2 hours, in time of the that job 3 is 2 hours. So what the machine B did for 2 hours? It waited simply. So 2 hours is the idle time. 2 hours is the idle time. Okay, it waited for 2 hours for the job. At 2 hour we have a job. At 2 hour we have a job to perform on machine B. At 2 hour we have a job to perform on machine B. Okay, so before that there is no job. because this is the first job. This is the first job. After performing on machine A, we have to process or we have to perform on machine B. That is the sequence, machine A and machine B, in the order of here, in the order of machine AB, machine AB. Okay, right. Okay, so here this is the out time. At 8th hour we have completed the job 3. At 8th hour we have completed the job 3. Okay, and next at 8th hour the machine is free. At 8th hour machine is free. Which machine is free? The B machine is free. At 8th hour B machine is free to perform the next job. Okay, so here at 8th hour it is ready to perform. Okay, machine is free at 8th hour. What about the job? What about the job? So is there any job to perform? So this job has completed. Okay, leave that job. Then what about the next job? The next job is ready at 6th hour to perform on machine B. But at 6th hour this machine B is not ready, because at 6th hour the machine B is processing the third job. At 8th hour the machine B is free. Okay, so that means at 6th hour we have the next job to perform, but the machine B is not ready. At what time it is ready? The machine B is ready at 8th hour. So here we have to take the 8th hour. Okay, so here the max of previous job out time of the same machine and comma the present job machine A out time. So which is max? That is the in time here. Okay, so that is the in time. So here we have to take the processing time, job 2. So job 2 processing time, machine relating to machine B. So job 2 processing time relating to machine B is 8. So here we have to take the 8 processing time, and how we can calculate the out time? So in time plus processing time is the out time. At 16th hour the job 2 is completely processed. Okay, then what about the idle time? So here we have to calculate the idle time. So the out time minus in time of the same machine. So here we are calculating the idle time for the machine B. So 0. So here previous job out time is 8, present job in time is 8. So there is no gap. At the same hour we performed the next job, that is job 2. So that's why here we will get 0 idle time. Okay, at 16th hour this machine B is free. At 16th hour this machine B is free. At 16th hour we can perform the next job. Then we have here we have to think, is the job ready? Okay, the next job is 4th. At 11th hour the job is ready on machine A. At 11th hour this job completed on machine A and it is ready at 11th hour. It is waiting for machine B, but machine B is performing at 11th hour the previous job. At 16th hour we have completed the previous job. Okay, at 16th hour we have completed the previous job, but the present job is ready at 11th hour, but the machine is ready at 16th hour. The machine B is ready at 16th hour, but the job is ready at 11th hour. So here we can perform the job at 16th hour only. At 16th hour only machine will become free, then we can perform the job if we have. Okay, so here at 16th hour we can perform the next job. So here we have to take max of previous job out time relating to machine B, then present job out time relating to machine A. So which is max? So here 16th is the max. Okay, at 16th hour we can calculate the present job, okay, on machine B. And what about the processing time? So relating to fourth job. So this is the fourth job we are performing now on machine B. So what is the processing time? So fourth job. So fourth job machine B processing time is 6 hours. So 6 hours. Here simply we have to calculate 16 plus 6 is equals to 22. At 22 hour we have completed the job 4 on machine B. So what about the idle time? So here the previous job out time is 16, the present job in time is 16. So here the idle time is 0. Okay, right. At 22 hour we have completed the previous job. So at 22 hour machine B is ready to perform the next job. Okay, and what about the job? Is the job ready? See here, the next job is fifth job. Here at 20 hour the job is ready to we can perform at 20 hour on machine B. At 20 hour we can perform on machine B, but the machine is free at 22 hours. So here we have to take 22 hours. So machine at 22 hour it is ready. So at 22 hour only we can process the job. Okay, so here we have to take 22. So here 20 we have. Here job is ready at 20 hour, but the machine is ready at 22 hour. So at 22 hour only we can perform the job, whatever the job we have. Okay, so at 22 hour we can perform. That means here we have to take 22. Okay, 22 hour. Then what about the processing time? The fifth job processing time. So the fifth job processing time relating to machine B is 4. So here we have to take 4, and I am just calculating the out time. So 22 plus 4, so 26. So what about the idle time? So here the idle time, the present the machine B idle time. So here the previous job out time, the present job in time, so both are same. Idle time is 0. And next, here see the difference. The previous job we performed at 26th hour. The out time of the previous job is 26th hour. That means at 26th hour the machine B is free. That means at 26th hour we can perform the next job. Okay, is the job is ready? No, here machine is ready at 26th hour, but the job is not ready to perform on machine B. The job we will get the job at 27th hour. At 27th hour we will get the job, but the machine is ready at 26th hour only. Then what we have to do the machine? Simply the machine has to wait for 27th hour, and at 27th hour we will get the job. Then we will perform the job at 27th hour only. Here the machine has to wait 1 hour. Okay, so that is the logic. Here we have to compare the same job out time of machine A and the previous job out time of machine B. So we have to compare. So which is greater, that we have to place here. So is the machine ready or is the job ready? So which is ready first? So according to those questions we will get the in time here. So here next, what is the processing time of job 1? So job 1 processing time is 3 hours. So here I am taking 3 hours, and we will get 30 hours out time. And what is the idle time? So the idle time here, the previous job out time is 6 hours, for calculating the machine B idle time, so we have to take only machine B values only for calculating idle time of machine B. So the previous job out time is 26 hours, present job in time is 27 hours, so 1 hour is the gap. So here the 1 is the idle time, so machine waited for 1 hour for the job. Okay, here at 30 hour the machine is ready, but at 30 hour we don't have a job to perform. So what we have to do? So we have to wait for the job. So the job will be completed, the job will be completed at 35th hour. At same 35th hour we can perform the job on machine B, but the machine is ready at 30 hour. At 13th hour if we have ready, that machine B is ready to perform. So here we have to take the 35th hour, even the machine is ready, so we need to wait for the job to perform. So here we have to take 35, so 30, 35, so 35 is the big, so that here we have to place. And what about the processing time of job 6? So job 6 processing time is 1 hour, so 1 hour. So at 36 hour we can complete the 6th job on machine B. So that means at 36 hour we can complete all the jobs completely on machine A and machine B. At 36 hour we can complete all the jobs on both machines. Okay, then what about the idle time? Here we have the previous job is 30, out time previous job out time is 30, and present job in time is 35. So what is the gap? The difference 5 hours. So 5 hours is the difference, so that is the idle time. Okay, right. So here after processing all the times on machine A and machine B, after calculating the idle times, so here finally the out time is 36 hours. That means at 36 hour we can complete all the jobs on both machines. So this is called the total elapsed time. This is called total elapsed time. Okay, so the total elapsed time is 36 hours. So we can complete all the jobs. We can complete all the jobs at 36 hours. So this is called T, total elapsed time. Total elapsed time. Right. Okay, then what about the idle time for machine A and machine B? So here the idle time of machine B, first machine A, let us go for machine A. So here if we add all these we will get 0 of course, but here we need to think about what is the last job here. So here the job 6 is the last job. So on machine A at 35th hour we performed the job 6, and that job will be forwarded to machine B. Okay, machine B. Okay, so this job will be performed on machine B at how that means how much time it will take on machine B to perform the job. The job 6 will take 1 hour of time to process on machine B. So here at 35th hour we have completed the job 6 on machine A, and this machine can perform the next job, but at 35th hour we don't have any other job to perform. There is no next job to perform, so simply we have to stop to process the jobs. So this machine A has to wait for 1 hour. Why this machine has to wait for 1 hour? because the same job after performing on machine A, so we have to perform on machine B. That means this same machine can take 1 hour on machine B. This sixth job will take 1 hour processing time on machine B. So what the machine A has to do, it has to wait for 1 hour. It has to wait for 1 hour. That means here we will get one processing time, that one idle time. This machine has to wait for 1 hour. Whatever the processing time here we have, that much of time this machine A has to wait. So at 36th hour all the jobs will be completed and two machines will be what stops processing all the jobs. Okay, so that means this processing time we have this machine has to wait. Okay, so that means the idle time of machine A is, so here simply we have to add all these values, so we will get the idle time for machine A. And what about the idle time for machine B? So here simply we can add these values, so we will get the idle time for machine B. So here the idle time for machine A is 1 hour. That means the machine A has waited for 1 hour and the machine B waited for 8 hours. So these are the idle times for machine A and machine B, and total elapsed time is 36 hours. So this time we have to take. Okay, so this is total elapsed time and machine A idle time and machine B idle time. Okay, so here we just determine optimum sequence. After optimum sequence we just processed all the jobs and all the times, and with the help of sequence and processing times we just found the total elapsed time, that is T, and the value of T is 36 hours. 36 hours. In the problem we no need to calculate that idle times for machine A and B, but it is better to calculate the idle time for both machines. So here in the problem just asked about the total elapsed time. Okay, so this is about the problem and solution. This is the problem 2. Okay, thank you.